Okay guys, today we're going to take a look at two-way tables. Before we actually get into the lesson, I'd like for you to pause your video and copy everything that you see. Now that you've gotten everything copied, or you could have printed it, let's talk about what a two-way table is. All a two-way table is, it's comparing things two ways. Like here, just real quick, let me give you an example. Here we're comparing males, the number of males typically in a survey, and we're talking about males who like summer, males who like winter, and then how many total males were surveyed. So it's called a two-way table because we compare things two ways, two things at a time. Here's bottom line what you need to know about filling out a two-way table. You're either going to add or subtract. Honestly, guys, that is all we're going to do today to fill in these tables and then use those tables to answer some questions. Here's one clue I do want to say. Typically, we subtract when we have the total. You'll see what I mean in just a minute. Okay, so jot down those two notes. Throughout the lesson, you're going to add and then subtract when we have or are given the total. So let's complete the table for number 1. Please use a calculator. So I notice, and I'm going to make this bigger, I notice that the bottom says total and the side says total. When we hear the word total, that means to add. So if they don't give us the total, we add. So watch this. I'm going to do 23 plus 35 gives me 58. Okay? So I'm going to add in these situations. Look where it says winter. Look at that column. I don't have the total, so I'm going to add to get the total. 27 plus 15 gives me 42. Okay? Now notice the whole last column says total. So I'm going to add all of the things up in the rows. So watch this. I'm going to add up all the males. I'm going to do 23 plus 27 for a total of 50 males. And then I'm going to add up the number of females. 35 plus 15 also gives me a total of 50. Now I want you to notice this little box right here. That is my overall total because watch this. 50 plus 50 going straight down gives me 100. But also 58 plus 42 gives me 100. So that is your overall total number of people who were surveyed. Now let's look at how we can use this two-way table to answer questions. A says, how many males were surveyed? So if I want the males surveyed, I want the total number of males, which is 50. B, how many females were surveyed? So I look at my females, my total is 50. C says, how many total people were surveyed? Well, that's what we talked about in this box right here. All the males, all the females added together is 100. Oops. So now take a look at D. How many people said they prefer summer? So here's summer, and I want my total, which is 58. So 58 people said they prefer summer. Look at E. E says how many people said they prefer winter. So I find winter, and my total is 42. So 42 people said they prefer winter. How many females said they prefer winter? This is where we're going to match up the two things at a time. So we want to match up, we want to match up females who prefer winter. And if you notice that those two things cross at 15. So there are 15 females who prefer winter. So let's try the last one. The last one says, how many males said they prefer summer? So how many males, we want to see where those two things cross or where they meet up, prefer summer. And here's summer. And those two things meet at 23. So 23 males said they prefer summer. So let's try a couple more of these. And again, remember, bottom line, you use addition and subtraction to complete your table, and then you use your table to answer your questions. So let's look at number 2. Now I notice something here. They don't give us all the totals in number 2. They give us some, they're all kind of spread out. Watch this. Look at pancakes. So look at the column with pancakes. They give us the total. You see that? And they give us one of the numbers. So remember up in the notes when I said subtract when we have the total? That's what I'm going to do. So 58, that's the total, minus 23, and that's going to give us 35. So that's how you find the missing pieces. So if you want the total, you add them up. If you have the total, you have to subtract. Here's what I mean by if you want the total, you add them up. Look right here. I have the two things, left-handed people who like pancakes, left-handed people who like waffles. I want the total. So I'm going to have to say 35 plus 15 is 50. Now I'm just going to keep looking around. It doesn't matter where, but I want to keep finding things I can fill in. So for example, here, I know I have two parts that I can add to get my total of 100. So 50 plus 50 is 100. There's another box I filled in. Now I notice, and again, you can be all over the place. That's okay. Look right here. I notice I have a total of 100, and I have that part of 58, so I'm going to subtract to find this one. I'm going to do 100 minus 58, and that's going to give me 42 here. Let's keep going and fill in everything that we can. Sorry, that was 42. Look at this. The only thing I'm missing here is that empty space right there. Well, I got two ways I can do it. I can do 42 minus 15, or I can do 50 minus 23. You're going to get the same answer no matter what. So I'm going to do 50 minus 23, and that gives me 27. So again, you're going to add and you're going to subtract to fill in your table. So let's try another one. Let's take a look at number 3. Now I'll leave that open in case you need to see that a little bit more. I don't notice anything that I can just, oh yes I do. I see some things I can add up. For example, brunettes, I can add up 58 plus 42 to get my total of 100. Then I notice this right here for where it says red. I can add 27 and 43. That's going to give me 70. Now look at what has happened. Now I can add all of this stuff up to get my total number of people who were surveyed. So 90 plus 100, and again, use your calculator if you need to. 90 plus 100 is 190. 190 plus 70 is 260, and 260 plus 100 is 360. So let's make sure we fill in all of our boxes. Oh, okay, right here for blonde, I notice I have the total and 36, so I can subtract there. Subtract 90 minus 36 gives us 54. I'm going to erase that so I can fill it in. So again, 90 minus 36 gave us 54. Oh, here's one where I can add. Now I've got all my stuff for mountains. I just need to find my total. So I'm going to do 54 plus 42 plus 43 plus 59 is 198. Almost finished. Now I see that I have my overall total and one of the blanks, so I can subtract. I can do 360 minus 198 to fill in 162 here. And then last but not least, the last block I see is right here. So I notice I have the total, so I can do 100 minus 59, and that will give me 41 for this space here. Okay, so again, I just used addition and subtraction to fill in those spaces. Now let's use these two tables to answer some questions. These are the other kind of questions you might see. Look at 4A. How many more left-handed people, so that's the table in number 2, how many more left-handed people said they liked pancakes than waffles? So left-handed people who like pancakes, that was 35. How many left-handed people said they liked waffles? Well, that was 15. But the question said, how many more? So that just means I want to subtract to get the difference. And 35 minus 15 is 20. So 20 more left-handed people like pancakes than liked waffles. Let's try 4B. 4B says, how many more brunette people said they prefer the beach to the mountains? So that looks like over here. Brunette. Okay, so it says, how many more brunette people said they prefer the beach? Well, 58 brunette said they prefer the beach. And 42 brunette said they prefer the mountains. How many more? I'm going to subtract. 58 minus 42 is 16. So 16 more brunettes prefer the beach to the mountains. Let's try one more. Question C. Let me erase that right there. How many more right-handed people said they prefer waffles than left-handed people? Okay, so we're looking at waffles. And the question says, how many more right-handed people? Well, let's see how many right-handed people liked waffles. 27. How many left-handed people liked waffles? So let's match up left hand and waffles. That's 15. How many more? Well, let's subtract. 27 minus 15 is 12. So 12 more right-handed people preferred waffles than left-handed people. So guys, this is how we use, first of all, this is how we complete a two-way table, adding or subtracting. Excuse me. And then this is how we use the table to answer questions. Use your notes if you need to, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.